Okay, so I wanted to kind of make this little video about this Krazedbuilds A12F conversion from an Automatics A12 to Formula One. So it's kind of taken a little bit to kind of build this thing. Just some feedback that I have on it. Figure I'd put something out there since there's not a lot of info on the web or anywhere. So that this car comes with no instructions, for one. Not a big deal. It's pretty self-explanatory on how to build it. The pictures will help. Anybody that's kind of built a car can kind of figure it out. What you're going to use. You're going to use the centerpiece from the original car. You're going to use all the outside adapters, springs, knuckles, turnbuckles. What else are you going to use? You're going to use this back piece right here to hold the axle, motor mount, and that's pretty much it. You're going to use the side springs, these little side spring holders that I believe already come if you use a WC car and maybe an X. I don't think these come with the original. So basically what you get from Kraze, you get the chassis, you get this the arm, the servo holder, you get these side plates, spring holders, or you don't get the spring holders, you get the side plates. You don't get body posts, you don't get a differential or solid axle. You get this carbon fiber piece back here for the wing, for wing holder, several different positions to kind of raise the wing up and down. What you're gonna need to purchase after having the donor car plus the Krazedbuilds kits, you're gonna need a front and rear wings. You're gonna need a servo saver slash horn slash whatever. You're gonna need one of these. I chose the Hootie one. That one works fine. Lines up. You're gonna need body posts. Body posts don't come. You're gonna need a differential or a solid axle, depending what you're gonna run it on. You're gonna need probably one of these. I think this is like FabTech fan mounts, and it also holds the battery down. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a battery. I believe they have to be under 93 millimeters long, so the selection is kind of limited. This R1 4800, I believe is what it is, fits perfect in there. It's on the approved list on the Krazedbuilds sites. So this kind of just drops in, really no fuss. You're going to need obviously an ESC. The other thing you're going to need, depending on what radio you use for receiver, if you look at the space, at least the way I kind of set it up was I put the receiver here in between this middle pivot point in the chassis. There's a small little slot. Well, I ended up buying this little 1-up receiver for my Futaba 10PXR, and it kind of drops in there perfect. I know they make this also for a few different radios. I think Sanwa and not sure who else. But also, I think the Sanwa 490, whatever, 492, I think, is this same little form factor. So that should drop in. But if you're running Futaba or even Fly Sky, I don't think that theirs are going to drop in fine. Maybe the small Fly Sky one. Not positive. But this one fit in perfect. There's not a whole lot of room. You're going to need a transponder like every car. And the biggest thing I had issues was with rear track width. So 190 millimeters was kind of hard to get to on Exotech tires, which is one of the tires we've run here in Florida historically. This year in our series, we're going to be open tires. So these are Accelerate tires, and I was able to get the track width, no shims on this side, and I don't know, a bunch of shims on this side to get to exactly 190. Actually, I think on 190.2 or something like that. But I was able to get that with the Exotech ball differential. I have like 6 or 7 differentials from different brands. I was able to get it work, but only with these tires. The Exotech tires have a different offset, and it leaves it too wide, and you're not able to kind of do what you got to do if you want to stay within spec. If you're not teching and you don't care, good luck. The other diff that I saw that worked that I actually have, but I bent the shaft and I've just kind of been holding on to it. Actually, a buddy bent my shaft. That sounds weird, but a buddy, I had let him borrow it and he gave it back to me bent. He told me about it. Is the Roche, and the Roche is smaller on the right side, so you're able to play with your track width and kind of get it perfect. I was not able to get a new shaft for it. I'm just still holding on to it. Maybe one day I'll find one here locally, and I think I can order it from China or Japan or wherever, or Taiwan or wherever they come from. I think I'm able to order one, but I haven't done that yet. But that's the ideal size for this. I went with Accelerate front wings, front and rear wings. Car actually feels really good. I am using the 5mm blocks on this side. It comes with different options. I think 5, 6, 7, and then this block back here, this block in the back, also comes different sizes. And I forgot which one I used. I think the wider one. It comes with 2 different options to be able to get the track width. What else can I tell you guys about the car? The body was definitely a problem. I ordered a Accelerate body, which I had already because I have a Prodigy. I had a new one, and I kind of tried to mount it. I really didn't cut it too much, but I didn't like the length. I would have to have cut the back too much. If not, it stuck out too much from the front, and it just wasn't ideal. I had ordered an Exotech body, which I really like. It just didn't kind of sit on the car very well. And then I ended up ordering a Montec F22 body, and I was able to kind of make it work. It sits on the car really well. I did have to cut it back here a little bit to be able to make it work, but if you guys see here in the front, it kind of sits right on the bumper. And I'm not great at cutting these bodies out, so I just kind of chopped this up to try to make it work. I think if I'm gonna do this again, I probably would have maybe not cut as much here, you know, and you gotta chop this here more than the line. But the body sits well. Again, I might even be a little off center in the back, but barely, maybe 1/2 mil or something. Not perfect, but pretty good. And the important thing is for bodies, for me at least, is that they sit on the car really well, and there's no tension on the body. Just kind of sits, nothing rubs. And let's see, I'm really looking forward to trying this car out. I was sad to see that F1 was kind of being taken out of the ETS. Hopefully we kind of get a good turnout at the Nationals here in a couple weeks. I don't know which car I'm going to run, but I'm definitely going to try this car out maybe this weekend and see. I still got to kind of go through my setup a little bit and try to figure out some tow and some camber options. The other thing, the car comes with, I think they're 3D printed little sleeves where you put the 12 scale bearing in, and then you're able to mount the tires. But these have a tremendous amount of slop, more slop than I'm comfortable with. I don't know if it's, and I think this one is more than, yeah, this one is more than this side. There is an option for some aluminum or metal sleeves. I'm assuming they're aluminum sleeves. They were out of stock when I was building the car. Now they're in stock, and I think they're out for delivery now. So I'm gonna see how that, if that takes away this kind of killer slop, which I'm not a fan of. But I guess once it's on the car, we'll have to wait and see. The other thing I would make sure is that you have a box of screws of different sizes, especially long ones. Like, look how ugly these screws are. I need to change these. I kind of just was putting screws that I had lying around because depending on the size of these spacers, you need to change and adjust the screw size. So the car comes with screws, but they're way too long, and they're gonna rub and things like that. And I think even on the website it says, hey, adjust the screw size depending on which kind of spacing plates you use and things like that. The last thing I guess I would say is the servo you use is important, because if you see, it stays right up until it grabs right up onto the chassis. So you cannot use a very deep servo. This car I put a 381 ProTech, which is the ones that they say are designed for Formula One. They're very low profile. I want to say the MKS, maybe 599, is probably the same form factor. And Power HD GTS2 has the same form factor. You just got to make sure you order it with the long cable and not the short cable, because the short cable would then comes out from back here. But anything else you have lying around, any Futaba or things like that, it's not gonna work, because it's gonna stick out. It's gonna stick out past the chassis, so that would be a problem. What else can I tell you? I think that's pretty much it. Just the car can be just logistically a little tricky, because I had to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and order and wait. I put, whatever this is, XR10 Pro stock, or whatever it is, the small one from Hobby Wing. Like I said, R1. They make decent batteries, but it has to be this specific one. Remember, I think it's 93 millimeters or 94 millimeters. Their website has options, but there are not a whole lot of options out there. So just kind of be on the lookout for that. I ordered this V30R. I think this motor just came out because I hadn't seen it. And I went to R1, which, those guys always take care of me. So I went ahead and I saw that V30R, so I ordered that. And honestly, I would have liked to have put a R1 speed controller. I'm really liking those, but the form factor just didn't fit right on here. And honestly, this just kind of fit better for me. But the motors, I wasn't gonna go away from that, and the battery. If I have a choice, I normally just select R1. What else can I tell you? I am using 48 pitch on here. Obviously, your track, you'll play around with your gear ratios and things like that. I think I have it's a 64 tooth and maybe a 28 pinion. I think I'm gonna kind of start there. And yeah, there's another little brace that kind of goes here in the front with some stoppers. I had put it on and I took it off. I didn't kind of like the way it sat, and I might kind of go back and play with it. I didn't like what it was doing. So I'm not sure if it's a stiffener or if it's just a long plate, but it uses the little holders from the actual donor car, little standoffs from the donor car. So let's see. I'll give some feedback on the car. Maybe I'll take some video of me driving it. But let's keep Formula One alive here in the States. Sad to see it go at ETS, but I guess I understand. And that's about it, guys. I mean, I'll play around with the wing. The wing has I think 4 or 5 different positions. Maybe 4 positions. You can kind of go up and down. I think I am in the second hole from the top. I just put it there just because, no reason in particular. Let's see. I plan on running the car on asphalt, or at least trying it on asphalt. Our track closed down here. I have Automatics green springs, and I put 10,000 lube here on the pin. And honestly, the suspension, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but it feels really nice. I wasn't sure how this little Frankenstein was gonna kind of go, and I just built it just for fun. But the more I went building it, the more excited I got for kind of trying it out and seeing if a local manufacturer here from the U.S. could do something, because it's always good for us to support local small business. And honestly, I don't know the guy from Krazedbuilds, but he must hate me because I've emailed him a bunch of times about track width, about sizing, I don't know if he thinks I'm a big complainer or not, but he's emailed me back every time pretty quickly and kind of talked me through a couple things, especially around this track width. And and I like my stuff to kind of be a specific way. But oh, here's another thing. You're gonna need a bunch of spacers in between on the inside to get the track width and to make sure you don't have play on the wheels. I think I have 3 millimeters on the inside to be able to tighten this wheel without it having any slop. Well, slop it has, but any in and out play. So make sure you have those kind of on hand. I did order like a little pack of different spacer sizes, and I think a couple 3 millimeters came in there, so I don't have to have 3 specific ones. But I'll let you guys know as things kind of go. Oh, and have different body post size. Just kind of have things lying around. I just, like I said, I use stuff that I had in like in my box just to kind of put it together. Then I figured I'd kind of go cleaning things up once I knew specific sizes and had things the way I wanted. Like, I don't like this cabling the way it is. I gotta tie some of this stuff down, but F1 is always kind of sloppy because there's really no place to hide cables. But I'll tie some of this stuff down and maybe cut some of these wires. I really didn't want to go through that until I knew things were where they need to be. I do like having the transponder here in the front and kind of just running the wire. And I hate wires, but this one doesn't bother me as much. So yeah, guys, I hope this video helps somebody out. If you have any questions, I guess reply back to the video on YouTube. And I'll see you guys on the track soon. Cheers.